Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's live trading session. A quick disclaimer before we begin. This live stream is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a financial advisor, and nothing shared here should be considered financial advice. Trading involves risk. You are solely responsible for your own trading decisions and outcomes. With that being said, let's look over at the earnings so far. This morning we had Shopify earnings, Unity, McDonald's, T-Mobile, T-Mus. At close today we have Cisco. We have I think that's pretty much the big one. At close today, the only one I can think of. Let's look over the events. We had non-farm payrolls today. It's kind of a big deal. I mentioned yesterday, I think somebody asked if we would dump on the news, and I didn't think so. So, turns out I was correct. I really expected chop after the report. We can see that the 3-month moving average for non-farm payrolls is 73K. What is working is education, health services plus 82,000, professional and business services plus 35,000, construction plus 22,000, leisure and hospitalities plus 11,000. Items that didn't look like they worked out too much were trade and transportation and utilities were down 38,000. Government's down 30,000. That's very much expected. Financial activities is down 7,000, information is down 6,000, and manufacturing is down 4,000. The manufacturing part isn't really positive at all, being down. It's not down too much, but still not that positive. What platform do I trade on? I trade on Webull and Robinhood. Those are the two that I use. Yeah, so really nothing else. Today. We do have the 30-year bond auction tomorrow. So we can look forward to that. Let's go to the charts. Let's take a look. So EPD this morning, which was the position I swung from yesterday, had a nice 45% gain this morning. Climbed up to 35.55 in the money. That it was above my target. Everyone should have had a trim order set in for at least 20 to 30%. It went well above that to 45%. The one I'm still waiting for, of course, is NLY. NLY, I'm still waiting for a move up to 73. That would be the R3 pivot for today. We need some good bullish momentum for that to play through. We still have 2 days here, so ideally I'd like to be in the money by either today or tomorrow. That would be nice. To be in the money today, we need to see a little bit with about 1% up. I think we can get it. EPD calls hit 0.26, by the way. NLY is back up to 0.12 at the moment. So these are technically green from my entry yesterday, my average down at 0.07. I believe it was 0.07 is where I added. So my average was 0.11, 0.12. So we're sitting right back at break even on those, which is good. That's the only other trade that I'm waiting for to play out. You can only trim 25% before EPD fell back. Yeah, 20 to 30% is ideal. You trade best with QQQ. I think you can get a QQQ trade. Yeah, so I'm just waiting for, once again, same story as yesterday, opening range. Except this time I'm actually going to wait for a breakout in either direction. The opening range size this morning is about $3 worth, 0.5%. So what is interesting is for today, the opening range, the yesterday's high is sitting right in our opening range. So that's definitely worth taking a look at. But we'll see. We'll see if this whole move gets pulled back from the move up earlier this morning. We'll see. MSFT. Let's take a look at Microsoft. Yeah, it's really dumping hard so far this morning. Got back up to 417. Just took a straight dump right off the open. It's part of the. This is part of the reason why the Qs are going down. Microsoft is dragging it down at the moment. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. Let's take a look if there's any. Trump says great jobs numbers far greater than expected. Should be paying much less on its borrowings. January jobs report shows the U.S. economy is strong. We therefore should be paying lower interest rate. It's by Trump. Looks like the NASDAQ or the Qs might be going for a dump here. Let's take a look at some QQQ puts. Kind of pricey. It is early morning though. Ideally, we would have to wait for the 5-minute candle to close first though before we made a decision here. I think it's trying to erase that whole move from yesterday or from this morning, sorry. So like I said yesterday, chop. This is like exactly textbook what I said would happen. Chop. Next few days, I think we're just going to chill out. I could be wrong, but we could chill out here within like 610, 620 between this like range here. Just after all the violent moves recently, it would make sense that we have some chop, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. We'll see how this 5-minute candle closes here though, because we're coming down to mid pivot, so it's really risky going short here, even though it is a breakdown from the opening range. Because mid-pivot could act as some pretty serious support. We'll see, though. Let's see how this next 5-minute candle goes. Because downside target would be pre-market lows, which is around like 610. That would be like the main downside target for the day. That's probably as low as we would go is 610. Let me take a look at those NLY calls. NLY staying up pretty well. They hit calls, hit 0.13. Take a look at EPD. Thoughts on EPD? Oh, sorry, I'm trying to do this in order. Thoughts on ABR? Let me take a look. ABR. It's down about 0.8% right now. Not much I can say for the daily. Let me look, or for the smaller time frames. Let's look at the daily. Well, I don't know. It seems like we've been on a solid downtrend here. But something to watch is, you see how the MACD here is grinding up while the stock is going down? This could be a sign that there could be a reversal coming on ABR here. I'd look here. This looks like it could be a falling wedge. Falling wedge is typically a bullish scenario. I do like the fact that the MACD has been going up right here while this has been going down. It's kind of, normally you see, this can normally tell you beforehand how we're looking, like going into the future. And especially since this is a falling wedge here, this could actually have a nice breakout. You would target like 930 to the upside, obviously. Let's take a look at EPD again. EPD, we already took that trim this morning. EPD really wants to go higher. So this is the daily, obviously. You can just see here, I think we want to go up to 37. We broke this resistance right here. Let me change this to the weekly. We broke this resistance. I'm pretty sure we're headed like 37 and then even higher, because energy overall has been doing pretty well. This is a natural gas company. But yeah, I think it wants higher. As for the trade that I'm in right now, they expire on Friday, obviously. But if we can get a break over 35.50 within the next 3 days, I mean, those calls are going to be in the money. So let's take a look at NLY. NLY wants to break the opening range. Let's go take a look at NLY. Looks like we rejected off the opening. Top of the opening range is also this R2 pivot, 2285. So we'll see if NLY wants to break that. If it does break that, we're headed straight to R3 pivot, which is 23. Calls should go in the money today. This one can move pretty violently sometimes. It does have some pretty volatile days. And then other days it's just chop. So we'll see what today is. I mean, it's already up nice right now, 0.7%. But one thing you have to watch is this R2 pivot. This is what we have to break in order for these to be bullish today. Cons are still at 0.11, so we're sitting right at break even right now. We would be in trouble if we break like 2270 to the downside. That would probably be some bad news. Let's go back over to the indexes. Yeah, so we're right at the pivot now. Mid pivot. I think we're trying to erase this whole move. I think it's exactly what the bears are going for. It's being drugged. Microsoft, I think, is playing the biggest role right now. Yeah, Microsoft. Let's see how NVIDIA is doing, because Microsoft, NVIDIA, and Tesla would be the two. NVIDIA is still up 1%, so I wouldn't necessarily say that's playing a big role in it. Let's see how Tesla's doing. I think Tesla's green as well. Yeah, Tesla is green. Of course, everything's playing a role in this comeback, in this pullback. Apple's still grinding up. I think Apple's chopping before the next leg up, by the way. Yeah. I think it's going to have another leg up, and it's going to break all-time high. I think next leg up we see on Apple, we're looking at plus 300 easily. Um, if any of you have tickers or positions you want me to look at, just let me know in the chat. I will do my best to answer in order. What I want you guys all to do, especially for everyone who like follows me, my live streams and in the Discord, I want you guys to learn how to do these trades on your own, because I don't want you guys to be like crippled and be like, you know, every other community where you just blindly follow setups. I want you guys to learn how these opening range plays work, you know, to take advantage of using these levels to your advantage. Getting in Apple calls. It might be worth, so if you go look, let's take a look at Apple calls real fast. Because I think it might be worth looking out in like later March, possibly like a month out. Problem is these are kind of pricey, but like maybe shooting for like a 290 call might be interesting. Because let's see, if 290 call sitting at 300. Let's see how much of a move we need. Need about a almost a 6% move on Apple, which is totally doable within the next month or so. Net calls. Let me look at the net calls. Cloudflare. It's up 11% right now off of earnings yesterday. I think the numbers were pretty good on this one. Yeah, they were pretty good. I checked. I would stay away from net calls until we break. So coming from this level, resistance, trendline resistance coming in from the pre-market, I would wait until we see a break here. And actually, that's worth me probably setting an alert on. Oops. That could be a good setup for going long. Apple 127.27 530, please. That's kind of pushing it for a year out. 530 would be a 530 would be too much for a year, in my opinion, on Apple. I mean, you're looking at it doubling its overall value in a year. Apple would need some absolutely crazy announcement for that to happen within a year. I mean, if you just look off of the April lows, which Apple had an amazing move off the April lows from last year, that in itself was only 70%. So I'd probably bring it down a little further. Like if you're going to go swings for 2027, I would look at like the 350, 360. And that's being very bullish. That's to be very bullish on Apple. I mean, Trump did say that the stock market value is going to double with his term in office. I don't know. That's kind of pushing it. No, that is pushing it. But, I mean, hey, you never know. OKLO. Oklo. Talked about this one yesterday. It's on a downtrend right now. It continues down more today, 4%. I think it makes another local low. It potentially drops to like the mid 50s is what we're looking at. Very possible that we drop to the mid 50s. Let's take a look at absolutely. The opening range strategy and specifically pivots have been very helpful. Yeah, I'm glad you guys are finding those helpful. Those are that's exactly what I want you guys to do. I don't want you guys to have to wait for me to take some of these setups that are so obvious. So yeah, like the opening range here, break to the downside, be retested, and then we'd probably see a move down to 610. We'll see if bears want to take us that low, but we practically just erased the whole move to the upside, which is literally exactly what I expected. I said we'd be in chop yesterday, and that is literally what we were doing. It might be worth going long here soon. We'll see. Actually, what I might do is I might pick up some swings in overall tech on this pullback. I think I'm still learning when to enter, when it breaks through a pivot. That's my next challenge. Maybe have some insight. Yeah, so, yeah, nice dump here. So, I'm actually going to probably go long next. So it's probably worth going long now, just as taking a shot. Might get back up to 613. We'll see. The indexes are red now. I wonder if we continue dropping to 10. 610. Yeah, so now we're below 610. Okay, so we hit the pre-market low. Now we'd want to see if we hold or we decide to break through to like the S1 pivot, which is 609.30. Nice dump, though. Nice dump off the opening range. As for like entry on, hold up, I'm gonna take some calls here. I'll take some calls. I mean, it's kind of risky, obviously, but I think we may hold the pre-market low. If we break below the pre-market low, I'd probably look to add at like 609. I think we should be in for a bounce though. We'll see. We'll see. Depends on how strong the momentum is. Let's go look at NLY real quick while we're at it. NLY still had rejected that top of the opening range. EPD, which is the other one I'm in. I just have some runners left on this one. We'll see if we have to close the remaining at break even. Let's go back over to QQQ. I wanted to briefly talk about the opening range, the breakdowns. You'd want to trade them off for the 5-minute candle is what you typically use. Ideally, you look for downward movement in MACD, which is here. Then you want confirmation from the squeeze indicator stating that we're going down, and then you would trade anywhere from the close of the 5-minute candle to a recheck of the opening range. That's typically where I would enter, is like within this range here. You would then you'd want to target the next pivot to the downside, which was the P1 here. And then, as you can see today, the target I gave after that was the 610. So pretty simple, very simple overall. Your stop loss would be a 5-minute candle close back within the opening range. That's typically where you would take your stop loss with this strategy. Opening range breaks have pretty high percentage win percentage, by the way. Pretty consistent. Like you can see, like, over the last few days that I've been live streaming, that I've been taking opening range plays, you can typically see that it does move pretty nicely after those breakouts and breakdowns. But yeah, market came right back down just as expected. I do think there has to be a bounce, though. I could be wrong. Might take a look at some INTC calls as well, honestly. More long term, though. Because Intel was up nicely this morning. 3%. Zero DTE means end of day. Yeah, that's same day expirations. Let's go back. INTC. I want to look at the INTC calls. So for testing yesterday's low. That's not yesterday's low, my bad. Let's see what some calls are looking at. Microsoft new low. Yeah. It's grinding down. This is playing a role right now in pulling the market down. What are your opening range values so I can check mine? Your opening range values should be, you'd want to use, so yeah, we're pulling back here a little more. Okay, I think we could see the bounce at S1. That would actually be that would probably be the best spot. We're approaching that 10:30 Eastern time reversal candle potentially as well. So we'll see if we get that here. If we keep dumping below 609, we could drop as far as 605.50. So it really just depends here, because the Bears have some pretty good momentum right now. Oh, price. So the ones I use. Sorry for the. I forgot to answer this for you. Um, look, you would want to set your values to the first 15 minutes of market open. First 15 minutes of market open is where you would set your opening range. So you can see here, I have it highlighted in gray. This is the opening range. And then you, after 15 minutes, it's the first 3 5-minute candles. Then you would take the trades based on a 5-minute closure, either to the upside or to the downside. That's the way it would work. Might stay away from going long on INTC for now. Seems like the market wants to keep heading down. Indexes or at least the QQQs are down 0.34 or 0.4 at the moment. So it's a pretty strong dump off of the high. I think we're well over a percent pullback now. Yeah, we're like almost 1.5% pullback within an hour. So we'll see if how much further before we see it bounce. Because I do think a bounce is coming. By the way, this isn't crazy at all that we're having this pullback. It's totally reasonable. I didn't think we'd run up to begin with on the news. Let me go back to NLY. Yeah, NLY's holding up just fine, which is good. EPD is going back up as well. I want EPD to go back in the money, ideally. The dump on the Qs is it's strictly due to just tech stocks having a pullback right now. Qs back to 607. Remember I said 605 was the spot. The S&P is down $7 as well. Yeah, just a straight dump off the open. Pretty strong. No, I honestly I wouldn't go short for now. I think I'm expecting a bounce soon. I said 605 is the downside, but that's really pushing it. I'm not targeting that for a downside move, like me personally. It's just possible that we could run down to 605. I'm pretty sure this move down is just strictly, it's Microsoft is really pulling the market down right now. Tesla's red now. Let's see how Apple's doing. Apple's holding up there just fine. Apple's up 1%. Nvidia, let's see if Nvidia went red. Nvidia's still green. Are you for sure expecting a bounce? Yeah, I do think. I don't think it's a straight dump all day. I don't think we're getting that. We're not even a market into, or we're not even an hour into market, into the session. So sold NLY for 30% gain, now up to $700 in the account from $250. How much should I put into each trade now? I was doing it more heavily, or more heavy, and now I'm curious if there's a percent of the account. I would keep sizing for now while you're under like $5,000 in your account. I would just keep sizing the way you've been sizing. Don't add yet. Speaking of NLY. Yeah, for NLY, we really need that opening range breakout. If you got in at like if you got in at like 0.8 yesterday when I alerted, that's some good money. S2 for the bounce. We'll see if S2. Let's see if it comes down to S2. If it comes down to S2, then yeah, that could be a good strong spot. Like I always say, the more pivots you hit to the downside or to the upside, reversal points become more probable. We'll see though. I think the big thing right now is the market needs Microsoft to reverse. Because if Microsoft does reverse and it keeps going, that's not good at all. There's a small gap on NLY. Can that pull it back? It could. I think NLY is like riddled with gaps, though. Which gap are you talking about? I know it has lots of small gaps everywhere. Is that a gap? No, I think it filled its gap. Yeah, it already filled its gap. It's gapped up to 22.72, and it came back down. It was only a 2-cent gap. It was really small. So we'll see here if bulls can hold this as a bottom, or we bear flag and we go for another leg down. Tesla's sitting at a pretty strong level as well. We'll see if we can hold this one here as well. The Russell, let's see how the Russell's doing. Oops, that is not the Russell. The Russell's down 1.4% as well. That had a nice gap up. I think it's like a 2% move from open. Yeah, 2.5% move down in just an hour, which is a lot. But looking at the 5-minute here, even the MACD is pretty strong to the downside as well. Yeah, so the whole upside move that I think wasn't legit. That's why I don't think the pullback really is that off at all. It actually totally makes sense. $6.10 on QQQ. You'd want to see, so ideally here we'd want to see the break back above the S1 pivot. The S1 pivot needs to hold, and then we from there would probably run back up to mid pivot, like 613. So it's a pretty volatile, choppy day. Like it's choppy, but it's a volatile, choppy day, which is good. Still choppy though. But yeah, 610 is doable if we get back. We'd have to get back above that S1 pivot. Sold 50 of 56 contracts for 33% gain. Nice, very nice. So you want to see a 5-minute candle close above the S1 pivot on QQQ. Yeah, we need a closure, a candle closure above the S1 pivot. That would I'd feel a lot more comfortable for this going to back up to 613. Because what could happen is you could see like a test here. It could be like S1, the bears bring it down and then it retests S1 and then it heads down to S2 pivot. What we don't want to see is anything like bear flagging. We don't want to see it. We don't want to see any bear flags. That would really suck for bulls. You want a clean 5-minute candle bounce here. Those Apple calls for March are up 19% already. Oh, yeah, you're right. They are. Apple had a nice, crazy jump there. Apple's up almost 2% on the day. So yeah, I mean, if you took those March calls, they're already up. See, Apple holds a pretty, like Apple is probably keeping the indexes up right now from dumping even further. Microsoft, I think, is the one that's really dragging it down right now. And I don't think there was any like really negative news on Microsoft either. It's just straight up sellers right now. All right. Yeah, those Apple calls are looking good. Let me take a look at NOI again. I still got NOI. I talked about Cloudflare earlier. Net calls, how they were. I would wait till it crossed over the trend line. You're getting that cross right now, by the way. QQQ calls us hit 30%. QQQ above 610 now. I'd be interested. I think Bulls could push it back up to 613. We'll see. It was a nice bounce off the low 607. Or it was like more like 608. Calls it 0.96 now. I would probably trim more here. I'm trimming more here, yeah. Because why not? Now the thing is, we have to look at. So look at the MACD now. MACD obviously starting to curl. That doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to cross up and we're going to continue, because bears could very quickly send this right back down to make new low of day. So we are not out of the woods yet at all. So it's 35% on. I'm going to move the stop loss to 0.65 because why not? The Apple calls did go up. Yep. Sure did. So I wouldn't take the entry on net yet until we cross the opening range. So patience is key here. NVIDIA calls are up 28%. Yeah, so what we want to see on NVIDIA now, and actually this is good to look at considering the fact that that the indexes are bouncing right now, because it really does depend on the overall tech. You'd want to see, bulls want to see a break back into the opening range here for NVIDIA, because what bears are going to try to do is they're going to try to use this as a spot for a reversal. So they're going to try, bears are going to try with this test here at 191. They're going to try to pull it back. Check out BP calls. Let me look at BP calls. Whoa. I don't know why I'm typing that. BP. BP is looking to break the opening range here. Sorry, I just randomly looked over at my hamster cage. He's being awfully quiet this morning. Actually, he's not even out. That's interesting. The hamster's sleeping in. He's missing out on some good price action. It's unfortunate. Sleepy hamster. Okay, let's go look at some BP calls. I'd probably want to take like the 39 if I were to play this. It's about 2.5 days of price action work to get it up 2%. It's doable. I mean, BP's already up 3.5% today alone, but it did have that massive move down from earnings yesterday. So, I mean, I think it dropped. Yeah, it dropped like a whole 7.5%. So, do you mostly trade on the 5-minute charts? Yes, I definitely mostly trade on the 5-minute charts. It's just better to see. It's not too short of a time frame for day trading, and it's not too large of a time frame. BP might actually break the opening range here. I'm really tempted to pick up the hood bounce. So sitting at 75, 35 right now. I'd trim more Q's calls if you got them. I think we're up like 50% now. I got in at 87. Is 100 a good place to sell? You sell when you are comfortable with whatever green you have. I always say sell when green. But you sell when you're most comfortable. What do you consider a full position? It really depends. So my full position depends on different tickers. Like a full position on the NASDAQ could only be like 50 calls for me. A full position on something smaller could be anywhere from like 100 to 200 cons. It really does depend on the size. I'm out of QQQ. I got it at 102. Nice. I was only able to get one con. 20% is a good place to get out. Yeah, for anything, it doesn't matter your position size whatsoever. 20 to 30% is what you should always target. That's like an automatic. QQQ hit 40%, by the way. Don't get greedy. Yep. That's the whole idea here. You don't... It's really about controlling your greed. Yes, like for example here, these let's look at these QQQ calls, right? You added some earlier. I know you guys all got a better entry than the I alerted in Discord the 0. That I first started adding at 0.90. I know some of you got better entries because it was in the middle of dropping still. And then took that ad, obviously. You now want to, with your average, I think you all should be sitting at like 0.70 for the average. I know that's what I'm sitting at. You want to manage it from here. So if you're like uncomfortable with a 0 DTE, number one, if you have a small account and you're playing 0 DTE, you should be taking green when you see green regardless. You shouldn't be playing with massive 100% gains. It's about consistency. But, you know, it's really just about not being greedy and taking that profit. 20%, I don't think you guys, and you see a lot of Discords, you see a lot of X accounts that like, oh, I'm up 500% or 300%. And you even see me sometimes, I pull off some nice 200, 300% plays. I mean, what was it, Monday, where I pulled off 180% on QQQ calls and 130% on QQQ puts? Like, those days happen. You can get those moves. But you shouldn't be holding, especially if you have a smaller account, you shouldn't be holding for, you know, plays that big. Yeah, so it's really just about not being greedy. We're at a 610 check here. So we'll see if 610 holds or not. If it doesn't, then we're back down to S1 and potentially flirting with a new low of day. So protect those calls. If you're in them, close them. If you hit break even, it's better just to be safe here. I'm not going to go short. So yeah, it looks like we are starting to break down below. I'm not going to go short because I think we're running out of downside movement, or we honestly could chop down here for the rest of the day. It's better to be safe than sorry, in my opinion. That's my thing. Your Microsoft short was really money this morning. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm glad you caught that. If you swung puts, you got balls, because I wouldn't do that. Not on Microsoft. Getting another alert for that net. I don't know why that came in late. But yeah, I mean, net here. Candle chart. You need the 5-minute break above. So totally reasonable there. Saved us from that. If you're in those March Apple calls, next up, if the indexes are able to reverse, and I think Microsoft's still dragging us down. Yeah, the pullback is due to Microsoft dragging us down right now. Oh, that's not Tesla. That's Tesla. Oh, I think Q's just had a nice candle. All right, all right. Don't get greedy. What app do you use for trading options? Robinhood sucks for refresh rates. Well, I have news for you. I use Robinhood. I use Robinhood and Webull. So I would, if you want like better refresh rate and options charts, and limit orders. Webull's excellent for like limit orders. Robinhood, I just like the interface because it's very easy for a lot of beginners. Is it the ultimate options trading platform? No. I don't think Robinhood is the ultimate trading platform at all. I just like the interface a lot. Trim more of those QQQ calls, by the way, if you're still in those. Those are up to 1.07 now. That's 50%. And it doesn't really matter where you got in now from the QQQ calls if you're red earlier. I mean, that's 55% gains at 109. So, bulls need a move to back up to 613. So, that's my target to the upside here for bulls. You need to move up to 613. Collins are up to 117. I trimmed more. So, it doesn't really matter where you got in on the bounce. Congrats. You made money. Well played. Some of you guys are like, oh, it's just going to keep going down. No, it doesn't keep going down. It was down a whole 1.5%. Yeah, we're flying now. Cons are at 146. Trim. Easy. Oops. And I can't spell today. Cons at 1.45. Can trim more. I'm out most now. That's like 100% off the average down. Give me 1 second, you all. I'll be right back. You can go ahead and trim more. Those calls are up to 1.54 now. Go ahead and trim those. That's well over 100%. Okay, I am back. QQQ calls ran up to 160. Very nice, very nice. I want 613. Obviously, is what I said I wanted. But I mean, 160 is already 130%. So, from my average. Let's see though. Let's take a look. Let's go back over to NLY because we're still waiting for that one. Still waiting. Let's take a look at EPD. We already took our EPD trims. We'll see if we get that opening range break. BP calls are already up 10%. Yeah, so if you traded the DJ from GA, cool name by the way. If you did take those are already up nicely. I think what did I say? The 39 calls? Did I say the 39 calls? I don't remember. I think I said the 39 calls. Yeah, because the 39 calls are already up. Yeah, they're already up like 20% from the open. So now we could be looking at a bull flag. Yeah, I took the 39. Okay. Yeah, and I think BP should keep moving to it should keep moving to the R3 pivot. So like another 20 cents up isn't off the charts at all. I want to see if this is a bull flag. New low of day isn't out of the question, by the way. And if I do see some confirmation for a downside move, I will not hesitate to go short. Just so you guys know. Because I do not mind scalping the moves at all. It looks like we could be getting that pullback. Gotta look for some setups. John, you guys, I gotta tell you, Clint's a really good guy, but it's trash in CS2. John, come on. Come on. It wasn't that bad last night. I only bottom fragged 3 games in a row, but hey. Then proceeded to engulf me with multiple stab wounds. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I am not the best at CS2. No, I'm much better at like Battlefield on PlayStation. But Yeah, that's messed up, John. That's really messed up. Hey, look, I'm there to support my guys in small little ways, okay? It isn't always with kills or damage, all right? It's about the little things, okay? It's always about the little things. That was a really bad game last night, though. I mean, we won. do I have Nancy in my basement? That's crazy. I am in Arizona, so I haven't really been tracking it though. But I hate how this stuff happens every day, but the moment it happens to like a celebrity or something, like it all of a sudden becomes big news. Like if we want to treat this stuff seriously, treat it seriously for everyone, not just reserved for celebrities. I don't game anymore. I was never good at first player games. The little kids are too good. I mean, you know what's crazy is these kids nowadays. I watch my younger siblings because obviously you all know that I'm the oldest of 12. These kids nowadays, insane what they can do. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to do that stuff at their age. Like the stuff they're doing on a iPad. I have a little brother who's 7. This guy already knows how to use a PS5 controller and is whipping it around. It blows my mind. I don't think it's healthy, honestly. First time here. I'm in Yuma. Oh, welcome. Yeah. I've been to Yuma multiple times. I went down in Yuma. When was that? It was like a year ago. We had a canoe trip along the Colorado River up there, and one of our stops was in that lake. I forget what the lake's called in Yuma area. Or I may be getting it mixed up. Maybe that's where we started. I don't remember. Somehow we end up in Yuma, but yeah. My 3-year-old plays better Apex Legends than me. I'm telling you now, this coming generation, they're either going to be really, really smart or really, really stupid into the digital world. Because I don't know if it's healthy, honestly. Like, yeah, they're good at this shit, but like, I don't know if it's healthy. Sonic and Road Rash. Yep. It's more of a grind down here on the NASDAQ. Not necessarily. It's not really a strong move to the downside. So it's a bit risky. I wouldn't go short. It more looks like it could be winding up for like another strong couple bullish candles. The reason why we had those bullish candles, by the way, it's due to the Apple move. Because I said, what did I say earlier? Apple 280 was coming. So that's, when did I call that out this morning? From like the opening range, which was, it was like 276.50. I think I'll go back and look at the live stream later. But 280, yeah, we're coming up to 280 now. I think most will be really smart. I teach my kid coding and stuff like that, but kids coding for now. But kids coding or not. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the fact that my um the fact that my 16-year-old brother can code just as good as me is crazy. It's really impressive. The only reason why I guess I should say the only reason why I don't like how like everything, like how kids are so good at everything digitally now, is because if one small thing were to happen on the grid, you know, or everything electricity goes out, or you know, we just, I don't know. I just hope that the kids of the coming generation are as equally experienced in real life, real world stuff as they are in the digital world. So that's like my only concern, really. Do I think it's positive and great that all these kids in the next generation know coding, know how to do everything digital? Yeah, absolutely. Considering we've moved into like the digital world, our world is, everything is digital now. But they should be equally experienced in everything else real world, in my opinion. Let's go back to NLY. NLY could be going for the breakout here. Let's see. 2285 now. We'll see if we get the opening range breakout. EPD calls are back up to 25, by the way. If you didn't trim earlier this morning, it's a great time to trim right now. This is due to the, by the way, this is due to the Russell moving up. So EPD is now having a breakout over opening range. Calls are already in the money by 8 cents. So, and we still got 2.5 days here, which is awesome. But yeah, this is due to a move up in the Russell. The Russell's bouncing. Let's go up to NLY. This is the one I really want to keep an eye on right now. Let's see how far off of this. Stock's up about 1% today. We need about 0.6 for this to go in the money. I think there will be any more setups today. Yeah, I'll be taking more setups. I'm sitting here trading. How can you do 0 DTE trades on Robinhood? If it's not already enabled, you have to manually enable it. EPD calls are up to 0.27. No excuses for any of you to be red there. That is a 100% solid trade, considering that I got in at what did I get? I think I fully averaged in at like 0.18 yesterday, because I originally bought at like 19, then I added more at 17. Check EPD. Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about EPD. Break over R2 should send us to 35.68. I don't think we'll go as high as 35.85 today. I mean, that'd be crazy. The calls would be worth like 35. $35.62 is the spot, though. I'm more focused on NLY right now because I want NLY break. If y'all go red on EPD, that's seriously on you. By the way, if you did not enter NLY originally and you decided to add yesterday when I first averaged in, you're already up almost like 100%. Wolf's down 3% today. Remember I was talking about that breakout? You know, let's take a look at the Wolf options. Because I'm looking at like the daily here and that level. Remember I was talking about that level, that breakout level? Like a month out, if we were to look at, I'm trying to see if we would climb up like 20. 20 really isn't out of the question here. $20. And like a month out, those are worth like 0.93 right now. You know what? Let's do it, chat. Wolf, $20 call strike, March 20th. We could take a shot at those. It's a month out. Are we still holding Amazon from yesterday? Yeah, I have Amazon shares. I got in at, those were from actually Monday. Or Friday, sorry. The day that we had earnings. I got in at 202. I think we dropped as far, yeah, we dropped as far as 200. And then I got in at 202. By the way, I'm going with those Wolf. Going with those Wolf $20 calls for March. Give me 1 second. I'll look over at Amazon real fast. Wolf 20 strike. Way out for March 0320 at 0.93. I'll give the due diligence in a second. You'll find the due diligence in the due diligence channel. So for Amazon here, I'm still holding. I got shares at 202, and I basically want us to fill both the gaps that we left behind. So that takes us all the way up to like 230. It's like 15% in stock, the stock move, I think. Yeah, it's like 15%. So that's what I want. That's what I'm targeting is 15% on Amazon shares. I think Amazon will hit a new all-time high in 2026. So really buying the dip as we go down is very much worth it. NOI breakout retest. I don't know if we need to retest up until 2293 is where we might retest. Maybe even like 2290. It looks good right now. I think we could be good. EPD's having that strong breakout right now. Remember I talked about the R2 pivot. That's the spot to watch. I'd trim more, honestly, right now. I'd reduce position size on EPD. Because, I mean, the calls hit 0.29, so I would already... You should be out. Majority is at 0.29 from 0.18. Oops. Where's my calculator? Where is my calculator? %60. It's nice. And I just got in those yesterday, so. We might have another opportunity for some QQQ plays. EPD calls should be at break even, by the way. NLY pushing. Let's take a look. Not NLY. There we go. Yeah, so like I said, at 2290. Cons have only hit a high of 0.13 today. I'm green on these, but we need... Cons will very quickly gain value if we get up to 23. Once we're up to 23, we should have a nice trim for like 40%, I think. Do you do options on Amazon or just shares? I'm just in shares right now. I haven't bought any options for Amazon. If we take a dip back to 200, I think we're sitting at like 203 something right now. If we take a dip back to 200 or very briefly fall below 200, I probably would take a shot. Sorry, we're sitting at 204.80. I'd probably take a shot at some leaps. Oh, nice. Wolf shares already green. Oh my goodness, somebody charged $15,000 for a one-on-one. That's just robbery. What do I think about SoFi? Oh, I'm sorry. I saw this earlier in the chat. I forgot to respond to this. SoFi. Everyone already knows I'm bullish on SoFi. I think it could be a good buy. It did have that head and shoulders, but I think we could see a drop as low as like 1850 and then a strong bounce from there back into the 20s. I don't think SoFi, I mean, it's possible it would need a short squeeze, but a SoFi move up to new high of day, or sorry, I'm very sorry, I'm still tired from this morning. A SoFi move to all-time high is about 60% from here. Is it possible? Absolutely. But I think it could be pushing a lot. Long term, I'm bullish on SoFi. It's a long-term. I'm long-term bullish. Wolf, TerraWolf. Calls already up. Already green. I wonder if this can get back to 17 today. That might be asking for a lot. Qs are back up again. I wouldn't consider taking another long position unless we break 613. Because then that should take us to the top of the opening range. Like quick. It should be like a quick, easy $1.50. Let's see how NVIDIA is doing. Because if NVIDIA climbs back into the opening, which it did climb back into the opening range, there's a chance it could run up to the top of the opening range. I wonder what those calls are sitting at, actually. Like same day expiration, like the 192.5. They're sitting at 0.60. That could be a fun gamble, honestly. You know what? I'm going to lotto these at like, I'm going to start adding at like 0.5 here. Yeah, I'm going to add a lotto. NVIDIA, the 192.5 0 DTE expiration, just as a fun lotto. See what I can fully get in at. 4.8. 4.3. Okay, can add in. It's a lotto, so I don't really care. I'm only gonna literally pick up like probably 3. Four two. Probably means that then Qs are pulling back as well. Yeah. That works, because this could give us a fun little opportunity here. All right, they're at 4.2. The 192.5 call. 0 DTE, which means 0 days till expiration. It's NVIDIA 192.5 call. 0 DTE, 0 days to expiration, around 0.42. Literally sizing for these to go to 0, by the way. Like, I'm gambling on losing. How many cons do I have? About 4. Because if this continues dropping, then they'll be worth 0. Basically just getting in on the pullback here. Because 192.50, I'm basically, what I'm gambling on here, if you guys are wondering why I even considered these, is because we're in the opening range and we cross back into the opening range. I'm basically taking a gamble that we go back up to the top of the opening range at some point today. Because if we go back up to the top of the opening range, that's about, let's see, it's about a % move up, back up to that high, and calls by then at close should be worth 0.70, so almost 100%. We'll see, though, because it will be totally invalidated if we drop back below the opening range. Literally just a straight gamble. I would size for these to go to 0. Let's go take a look back at NLY. It's still sitting above the opening range. It could literally pull off what it did down here at like 22.73, where it just jumps 10 cents. And if it jumps 10 cents, then we should get a nice trim in on those. As for the Qs, probably won't take another bullish play unless we see a move above 613. I think if we see a move above 613, we cross back up into the opening range. I think that's easy. For the lotto, I'll follow regular rules, except I'll probably push like first trim at like 40% if we're able to climb that high. So we'll see. EPD, new high of day again. EPD, I want to see a move up to, I said 35.85 is pushing it today. But it would be nice if we were to get a move into the 35.70s. That would be ideal. But the big one right now that I have left is pretty much NLY. We need NLY to play out. Let's see. Answer the SoFi question. Would you look at IWM again? Are we bear flagging on the 5 and 15 minute? I'm sorry, that was a little bit ago, but let me take a look at it right now. Yeah. So this is, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a bear flag. I mean, you could argue it's a bear flag. It seems like a really choppy bear flag. But yeah, I mean, it's giving bear flag vibes for sure. Is another leg down possible? Absolutely. I think another leg down could be very possible for the indexes in general. So we'll see. Wolf's already green. Yeah, TeraWolf's already green. I think they're up. They're up a small amount right now, even though we dropped here. What do I think about ENPH? Enphase, Energy. I actually haven't charted this one in a while, but I think, yeah, we had a nice gap up here from 38 to 48, climbed all the way up to 52. This one, really interesting. So after the earnings report, you're looking at a breakout here. But what's more important here is you see this volume here on the weekly. That's the most important part. It's this volume. We could climb back up to 115, like 110 to 120 within the next year or so. Kind of pushing it, but I mean, I don't think Enphase Energy is going anywhere. It's like that one chart about being like oversold and then comes back down. Like, why do I have an Amazon message? Right angle charging cable is our newest product. Amazon sellers can send you emails. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I'd rather just buy my product and never hear from this shop again. For use. Bull flag. Bullish. Break to the upside. Takes us into the 30s. It's a mining company, so, right? I think it's mining. Yeah. Sometimes I have to double check. Because if you look at GLD, I think GLD is also, it's actually green today. Gold's going to make a new high eventually, sometime this year. So is silver. Micro silver futures are at 83 right now. Silver could pull back a little further. That would have been a sweet buy at like 65, 66. Oh, wow. Trump pulls National Guard troops from Los Angeles, Chicago, and Portland. It's big. It's interesting. I wonder why he'd do that right now. City sees a Fed rate cut in April versus March previously. Trump's meeting with Netanyahu again. Interesting. Well, could chop, but this is a pretty like wide range chop. I mean, the full drop this morning was a whole $9 move down, so. Let's look at some potential long-term setups. It's a mixed market overall. Let's take a look at the daily. KMI, new highs again, obviously, today as it's continuing to climb. It's not all-time high, but it's a new local high. KR had that rejection from 73. Zim had that breakdown from the trendline support that I talked about last week. Continues to grind down further. UPS continues to grind higher. On semiconductors up nicely today, 5%. I think on semiconductor will eventually be over 100. I'm calling that now. I don't know if it'll happen this year or next year, but I do think it goes above 100. Why are silver futures priced so much more than gold or any other future contract? 1,000 ticks per point versus 100 for gold. The silver, because silver is moving so violently, that would be my only explanation, is because of how violent the silver moves have been. Do you realize how, you guys need to understand, you need to realize how violent, and by the way, for the record, before I continue, I did call this at 120. Go back on X. Go look at my post when I said 120 was the top. I literally waited forever to call the top on silver, and I called it ever so perfectly. Nearly a 50% move down from the top that I called. But going back to how crazy the move was, the world's second largest asset dropped 50% in days. I don't think you all understand how crazy that is. Think if gold whoa. Think if gold had a 50% move down in days. 20% is a lot for gold. That was crazy enough as it is. I mean, look at the volume itself on the drop. 20% is crazy to catch. Now imagine a 50% move. Do you realize how crazy that is? Look at that. That would be wild. Absolutely wild. So you're asking about why the silver futures are priced so much? It's because look at how crazy silver has been moving. It's been absolutely insane. Can you imagine one day gold 5,600, and then 5 days later it's down to 2,800? That'd be wild. What do you think on Google? I think we're starting a big downtrend correction. Let me take a look at Google. I don't know if this is the beginning of a big downtrend correction. I mean, we did lose the trendline support, but I think we're pulling back. Question is how much? I think a drop below 300 is very possible. A drop below 300 is not out of the question at all. Overall, I think Google's still like undervalued. This whole move up, people are like, oh, it was ridiculous 2025 on Google, you know. No, this was actually quite reasonable. I mean, from the April lows, Google had one of the biggest moves in tech, up 140%. But yeah, I do think a pullback below 300, but Google's going to see a new high of day in 2026, or a new all-time high in 2026. I'm not questioning that at all. Let me go check in on those NVIDIA autos. Yeah, we'll see how these perform. The target's top of the opening range. That's what we want. We want that top. Qs. I already said not going to take another bullish trade on this one unless we see 613. 250 on Google when it drops. 250 is kind of pushing it because let's see how much of a like percentage move down that would be. I think it would be like, yeah, like a 20% move. A 20% correction on Google would be a lot. Is it impossible? No. Do I see it happening? No. I think that's kind of pushing it. Because I do think while the market does need a crash and a pullback, 2026 could continue to be bullish. Unless, of course, there's some like major war that breaks out. I don't see us crashing just yet. It's coming. There's a very large market pullback and crash coming. It's inevitable. I just don't know if it'll happen this year. Is 250 possible? Maybe. Do I see it happening? Not necessarily. If a crash happens, I'm going all in. Yeah, me too. It's going to be, the crash is going to be historical. It's going to be devastating. A 2026 deep crash, 2027. Yeah, I'm thinking it could happen next year. It could be late this year, 2026, or early 2027. Because people were calling for the crash like in with the 08 crisis. You could already see signs of it. I, of course, was only, 7 years old at the time. But I mean, I've done a lot of research on it. In 2006, you would have seen, signs of the bubble coming in 2006. And it took a year and a half, 2 years before it actually started crashing. So by the time when you're seeing signs of a crash, it usually means that you're going to have to wait at least like a year, 2 years before the crash actually happens. Bitcoin going to 40 to 35K if panic sets in. Yeah, I'm thinking Bitcoin in the 20s with the next crash. I'm not bullish on Bitcoin, but I mean, if you like, if folks like to invest in it, that do your own thing. I just think there's a lot better opportunities out there. Before I would invest in Bitcoin. That's just me though. Let's go take a look at the NASDAQ real fast. RIP MSTR. Yes, RIP Michael Saylor. Bitcoin is going to crash. Michael Saylor is going to be in jail. MSTR will be sub $50 by the time it's all finished, if they're even around. Imagine buying the top of MSTR. I really feel bad whoever's bag holding that. Down 80%. Stocks are better specifically now, especially now. Yeah. Investing in the stock market is way smarter than crypto right now. I'm glad I didn't go long on FSL yesterday. I almost went long on this one. I think I was talking about it yesterday. Because I wanted an $8 move. The NVIDIA Lotto. Still in the opening range. I think those cons are like 0.38 right now or something. They're down like 4 cents or something. Need more bulls to step in. He said if it goes to AK, he'll just refinance. Nah, he's going to be in jail. Actually, another one I should look at, speaking of jail and crazy pumps and stuff, is GME. GME's down today. I mean, we're up 25% from my... Oh, yeah, there goes NLY. NLY's up to 22.91. Let's see what cons are sitting at right now. Let me check my position. 1 second. If my Robinhood app will load. What? Cons are only at 0.13. Well, just let it keep climbing. The opening range break is good here. But he seems to have to keep going. Ooh, ET had a nice move up. Opening range breakout was fake though. Iron Limited, I think it's down bad over the past. Yeah, Iron is down bad. I think I said this wouldn't go any lower than below 30. Like you said, need above 23 for them to jump. Yeah, for NLY cons, we'd want to see like 23. I mean, it's positive that we're climbing today, especially with the indexes pulling back, and as much as they've pulled back so far today, NLY's holding up really nicely. I mean, the Nasdaq's literally flat right now. It's literally sitting at 0%. We were up 1 cent. We're down 1 cent. Like, we're literally sitting flat right now on the indexes or on the Nasdaq. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm going to stay away from the Qs for now until we see probably a drop below 610 or a move above 613. So like within this $3 range, I'm just going to patiently wait. I see no need to push another QQQ trade. I mean, I already took, 130%? So chop is totally reasonable right now. Uh, Going back to some questions that I'm having in the tickets throughout the server. If you guys have the VIP, if you're signed up for VIP and you don't see the VIP channels, it's due to one of two things. One, you either signed up with on WAP, you signed up with a different email than your Discord account, or the second reason would be you don't have all the channels selected under the browse Discord browse feature, the channels and roles. You need to check both those things before you open a ticket, and remind me that you still can't see them. Because if you still can't see them, then reach out to me, and then we can look over it and see how we can get you on board. Had the hardest time on Discord, got signed out and cannot get signed in again. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, it may be like a two-factor authentication thing, because I know they've been pushing that recently. I also just found out that Discord's going to be requiring Face ID, which is crazy. It's kind of upsetting. NL icons are up to 0.14, by the way. It is a two-factor, which I cannot figure out how to use. So what they do is you download a Google Authenticator, and it should work out that way. Searches for Discord alternatives jumped 10,000% after that announcement. That's crazy. Maybe I should begin offering like alerts on another platform as well for those who would prefer not using Discord. We'll see when the time comes. I don't think that's rolling out for another... Actually, I'm not even sure when that's rolling out. I have to check, because then I may offer another platform for everybody to use as well. Just so people have options. Let's code a Discord. That would be kind of cool. You know what would be really cool is if I came up with an app, my own app for this. For my alerts. That would be pretty cool. That would be easy for everyone. Instant alerts, analysis, all based in my own app. That's something I wouldn't mind trying at all. How I'd set that up, I'd probably have to reach out to a few people. It's getting overshadowed by Ring and their mass surveillance for lost dogs. Yeah. I think Ring's being bought out by somebody too. Or at least somebody's going to be trying to buy out Ring. It's all for data. There's a group that wants to gather up all our data and watch us 24/7. Have your little brother do it. Honestly, my little brother would probably know how to do it. Hey, little guy. You know what Discord is, right? Okay, I want you to make something similar to Discord, okay? Kenvu is actually on a really nice climb right now. Truman Show. AI should be able to build an app for you. Yeah, there's platforms out there to build an app. It's totally doable, and there have been people that have asked me about creating an app for my stuff, because we do have a very large community on Discord. We're pushing over 9,000 members on Discord. So we already have a pretty big community, and it would be cool if everybody had the opportunity to download an app for both free and VIP content. Kenvu here is interesting. Let's take a look at Kenvu calls. I'd probably look at like the 18.5 is sitting at 0. Well, man, I don't know. So the momentum's nice right now, but we might be reaching a top here soon on Kenvu. NOI. NOI is still climbing. I want us to get closer to 23, obviously. Let's move to the dark web. See, the thing is, really, it wouldn't be hard making an app for my content. What would be hard is setting like an alert system for you all. That would be the tough part. It would be about the alerts. Because I would want the alerts to come in as soon as possible and as quickly as possible for you all. That way you're able to take those entries, like especially on QQQ, 0DTE trades. Like if I'm not in the live stream and I'm just alerting. Here's my question. I'm up 10% on NLY now. If it was you, what would you do? It depends on how big your position is and when you entered. If it was an average down, you probably should start cutting some of your position to a lighter position and then move your stop loss up. The 10%, it's really just, it's up to you right now, and it's up to your position sizing. If you want to cut, like if you're holding over 200 cons, I would definitely cut probably like half your position, especially if you average down. NOI is up to 0.15. If you took the average down yesterday, excuse me. Let's see how much we're up right now. Let's see. I mean, we're up 35% from my average down yesterday. You know what? I'm just going to trim some here. Yeah, they're at 0.15. We get filled at 0.14. It's only like 30%. But I mean, 0.14 is 100% if you average down yesterday. Agents would make alerts instant. Huh. You know, this is something to consider. If they do roll this out on Discord and a lot of people do want to leave, I may start my own app. I think that would be fun for everyone too, and probably a lot easier to follow alerts. I'd probably customize it to where you all can like mute different channels much easier than what Discord has, or sign up for just like specific alerts only. There's a lot you could do. There's a lot you could do in a like personable app compared to Discord. That would be massive if we were able to do that. Let me head on over to X real fast. You can code anything? Yes, that's true. You can code anything. Not that we have anything out yet, but I am working on a auto trader for futures right now. Working with the team on coding some auto trading, and then of course I would enable copy trading from that for you all. It's specifically specialized for for like Apex and Take Profit Trader, for those futures trading prop firms. See how the Qs are doing. Might take a small add to that NVIDIA Lotto. This is a NVIDIA call. The Lottos are sitting, I think, at. Let me check my position. Robinhood load. You know, I had somebody from Alertsify reach out to me just recently. So that could be something that it could be coming soon. I'm literally sized for 0 here on NVIDIA. So if I lose it all, then I lose it all. So it looks like we're pulling back now. It just means that the Qs are pulling back as well. Here we are back below 610 again. Yeah, I should go back to what let's see what the gentleman said. I forget which one. I think it started with a P, his name. That is the main PCS. Also involves automatic webhooks, journaling, one-click executions, full transparency, monetization if you offer your trades to be copied. Multiple strikes and tickers can be easily accessible at once. A bunch of crucial aspects that can improve trading it and even smooth out your community. Yeah, I mean, it could be fun. I'd have to look at. Interesting. Works with Weeble. Which means I'd probably have to switch to more Weeble trading in that case. What's the pricing on this thing? Trades execute in milliseconds, mirror the pros in real time. This could be fun. Yo, there's another Clint. Clint 7444. Yo. Welcome, Clint. Good to see you. I rarely see other Clints. It's a really rare name. $99 a month for Pro. Yeah, it could be interesting. I might take a closer look at it. Although I've been talking more with my team about the possibility of creating an app. That's actually been discussed. The two things we're working on right now is like the app and the futures trading, copy trading is the two things we're talking about right now. We'll see if the NASDAQ bounces here from 610. I'm, of course, sized. The NVIDIA Lottos are sized for 0, so I do not mind if those go to 0 completely, if I lose completely on those. Before close today, I probably am going to enter 2 more things. I'll probably be entering Hood Leaps and probably Amazon Leaps. As long as Amazon stays below 20. So we're back up to like, actually, I may go for the Leaps right now. As long as Amazon is above 200, I'm going to probably go for some Leaps. I make my trades on Alertsify. Yeah. Well, I should check it out. I'm going to ask the dude who reached out to me. He works there. I'm going to ask him how easy it is for me because I do enter like my stuff pretty quickly. And I'm in and out. Leaps. Yeah, I'm going to be looking at some Leaps. Probably Hood and Amazon Leaps are the 2 I'm looking at right now. There's a few other opportunities out there, but Hood and Amazon are the 2 that I'm really watching. I'll post those in the Discord when I enter them. But yeah, with that all being said, if you guys have any questions, what are Leaps? What are those? Leaps are like, it's options that are a year out. If you guys have any other questions for charting or just financials in general, you guys are more than welcome to post them in the chat rooms. NLY is really the only other trade that the larger trade that I'm waiting to play out right now. I really want to move up to 23. EPD already took profit. Q's was 130% this morning. NLY is the last one that I really want to play out. I still have 2 days, but I want that to play out today. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions regarding the VIP membership. You guys are welcome to open tickets, ask me questions. Either me or one of my mods will answer you. And yeah, I will catch you all later. Thanks for showing up today, everybody.